Hello. So, I don't know about you, but it's been a very, very long epidemic, where many of us have been taught to care about other people. And if you are not one of these people, then I'm simply not talking to you. So you may click off, or you may stay and watch if you're a good human. Alright? But for those of you who consider themselves as empathetic or empaths, then this is for you. I'm an empath myself, and for the longest time, it has been very prevalent that there's been this message that the world sends to us, that we need to save people, that we need to care about people, and that our abilities, our potential, and our power lies in being that savior, in being used for other people's benefits. I know there are countless stories where you end up being either a therapist friend, you end up counseling your own parents. Random strangers seem to just tell you about their business for whatever reason. There are stories, right, where even your own family takes advantage, right? And I say taking advantage because that's exactly what it is. And you see, they will never tell you that. You are the one that figures this out on your own. You've been through different trials and errors. You've been through different trials and tribulations. You've endured a lot of people's struggle, pain, and misery. And yet the only thing that never receives justice is you. You've always felt like people don't see you. The people that come to you for consolation, you can't go to them. You cannot go to those people for the same amount of insight and advice and listening and understanding. No. You've always had to console yourself. And what's very interesting is that in the same breath, the world will tell you that this is how life is. Life isn't fair. I have things that I have this to go through. They're not gonna care in the same way that you do. So there's that double standard. There's that there's that push and pull. They push you to do something. They push you. They urge you to go out and care. They urge you to go into these health professions. They urge you to go out of your way and be kind to people because the world around them isn't. And that's kind of where it sprouts off into. It starts off as something like, oh, I have this innate sense that I should care about people. I see around me that the world isn't thriving and the government and the systems, they aren't providing all that they should as their role upholds them to. So I need to be the one to do so. And it feels good when there are a few people that take your advice and they come to you and they say, thank you for this, thank you for that. It feels a good thing. It gets to a point where that justice, the injustice for you starts to outweigh the amount of justice you give for everybody else. You start to see that many people that you continuously give your love to, your heart to, your attention to, your energy toward, they do nothing with it. They don't take it to better their situation. They go to you to dump all of their trauma and misery onto you for then you to carry. That's what ends up happening. You end up carrying their baggage because they do nothing with the energy that you give to them, with the genuine love that you give to them. They take without ever giving. And so now it comes to a point where you have to look at yourself. You become the villain now. There's going to be a point in time, if it hasn't already happened or if you're not already going through it now, we are now tasked to stop caring. You see how there are others out there, many of them, who don't care. It could be the people who are consoling you that don't care. And you see that they don't care. But how don't they care? You see the ways in which they don't care. And they don't care about themselves. They don't care about themselves, and so they do not care about other people, right? The people who don't care who seemingly don't care, are also in positions of power. You've got a lot of material wealth, right? So you see that not caring gets you places or opens you to places, but that still never felt right. Because you cannot erase how you innately operate, because it's just how you operate, right? Quite frankly, you don't want to erase that because, well, you wouldn't be authentic, right? See, you've entered a crossroad. This is what it is. You've entered a crossroad between how do I become myself? How do I inhabit all that I am as an empath and still balance it out with this nonchalant, non-caring attitude? This is the biggest question. This is the biggest concern that many empaths go through while on their journey. Now, I'm here to tell you this, okay? You don't have to stop caring. You do not have to stop caring. Okay, that's what the world also pushes you to do. When they see that you can't provide for them anymore, they're gonna push you towards to stop caring. But when you stop caring, you become the people who stop caring about themselves. You become the person that looks toward other people for answers. You can no longer look towards yourself. And that's actually many other people's struggles. They find that they've once cared before about these things, and that now that the world has treated them this and they feel abandoned by the world, they go out and abandon themselves because they see how people in positions of power are mistreating them. They want to be in that position, so they end up mistreating themselves and everyone else around them, but especially the people who care about them. You see those cycles? You see how the layers? It's layers to this. You know this. And so, here's what I'm gonna say. You can still care about people. That is a big strength. Okay, the fact that you care about people is a huge strength. As a matter of fact, the fact that you still care in general just means you care about yourself more than anything. And that's one of the first things, is to use that energy to care about yourself. How can you use this empathetic energy to actually source it back to you? In what ways are you not caring about yourself as much as you care about other people? That's when it becomes a weakness, right? And so the whole point is, there's healthy ways of caring about it. You can care in power. When you care in power, that is a healthy way of caring. And when you care in weakness, that is an unhealthy way of caring. One of them benefits none, and the other one benefits all. But what everyone will try and tell you is that this benefits all, and this benefits none. It's quite opposite, okay? Here's what I'm gonna say. So when you care in weakness, it looks like caring about other people. It looks like allowing anyone into your energy. It looks like not knowing your self-worth, not knowing the power of your empathy. It looks like allowing strangers just to tell you anything. It looks like kindness, quite frankly. It looks like being nice. It looks like people pleasing. Caring in weakness is a people pleaser trait that you end up building and inhabiting. When you are a people pleaser, you're caring in weakness because you don't know the power, the strength that comes with caring and being in that. What I'm getting is that there's a reason why there are so many people who flock to you who cares a lot. You really think it's invaluable? They flock to you as if it's money. Quite frankly, it's not valuable. They flock to you as if it's a treasure. Because it is. It's a treasure. You are a treasure. Your heart is treasurable. It's so valuable that if you allow anyone into your room, into your space, they're going to feed off of it. They can't take it, but they are going to feed off of it. And this is what ends up happening when you care in weakness. Feeding off of it simply just means you allow anyone into your energy. You are afraid to stick up for yourself because you think that being kind and being nice is showing that you care. No. You see, value and power are not in the same realm as kindness and niceness. Kindness and niceness are in the same realm as weakness, simply because they are one side of a coin that benefits none, but especially not you. You end up being the weak one. You are the one who is being played as weak. When you care in weakness and you start becoming kind, you start thinking kindness is a virtue, niceness is a virtue, you are the one that they're playing to be weak. So you are caring in weakness. Now, when you begin to go down the other side of the spectrum, you are presented with power. value. You start to see your own heart as treasurable. You start to see your own inner space for what it is. You see what other people are seeing, but beyond. You see how not even money can buy this. There's no price to this. There's no price to you or your essence. Empath. Okay? So empathy is here. It's not in a job title. It's not in how much advice you could give someone. It's not in how well you can leave and listen to somebody. Empathy is actually a strength you came here to give yourself, to give to yourself first. It's how well you can listen to yourself. It's how well you can discern who deserves your advice, your ear, your shoulder, your back, your heart, your attention. It's a gift you reincarnated here with. To remember it as a strength to gift to yourself. And to show others that this is sacred. This is not to be passed around. I am not to be passed around. My heart is not to be passed around. And I'm serious about this. It is not mere tossing around kindness. It is not mere putting on a mask and pleasing you with. This is not what it is. I'm not here to please you. I don't have to listen to you. And because I choose that does not mean that I am anything other than humble. You see what I mean? To choose myself, to choose yourself, empath, to choose your heart over weakness, which is the fake kindness, which is the fake niceness. These things do not exist. They exist in the realm of those who don't know anything about being empathetic, who don't know anything about serving themselves, who don't know anything about their own powers, unique innate abilities. Okay? Choosing yourself is always gonna have you villainized. It's gonna have you weaponized. Choosing yourself and recognizing the strength in your empathy will actually have you in a much higher frequency than anyone may ever imagine. You'll have people in a state of love and hatred towards you. Oh yeah, let me talk about it. Let's talk about it. When you begin to embark on this journey of power, especially your heart, you wield the greatness of this entire planet of light. When you inhabit this and you begin to see it clearly for what it is, not for what they want you to be, but for what it is, for what you are, for what you came here for, people will start to envy you. They will hate and love you. But as an empath, you see the illusion between love and hate. You see, when you're an empath, you have this innate ability to see through, to see beyond. And you can only truly tap into that when you become aware of how valuable you are. When you stop playing into the race, you stop playing into the masks, you stop playing into the pleasing. There's nothing more pleasurable than finding your own worth. And it's just that simple. When you have total love for yourself, when you recognize that your heart is valuable and should be and is sacred, and therefore you're not going to allow anyone into your sacred space, that's when you start to see through the people who say they love you and recognize and understand the people who say they hate you. You know exactly what that means. You can see it through it all. Your empathy becomes strengthened. The ability becomes heightened. But you need to start caring in power and not caring in weakness. Empathy is to care in power. It was never to care in weakness. Care in weakness means you're carrying weakness. You're carrying this gift of empathy as weakness. When you start to recognize your value, you are now carrying in power. Carrying empathy in power. Does that make sense? And so, begin to look at yourself as a gem. Just to quickly wrap this up, I just want to end off by saying, empath, people who care a lot, you are so powerful. You need to stop pretending like you are not. You need to really wrap the concept around what empathy is and what it means, what you came here for, why you came here caring, why you came here, and why you still care even after everything has told you not to. Really start wrapping your head around the idea. Really start to see yourself for more than just a therapist friend, just someone who just cares a lot, as more than just, oh, someone who's sensitive. These are just labels that people love to throw out and toss out so that they can identify you, so then they can use you. We're not doing that anymore. Okay? Your heart is too valuable. You're doing an injustice to yourself each and every single time that you disregard your own worth, your own value, your own potential. People will make it seem like you can't get around this world by caring. That's the funniest lie I've ever heard. People will literally say that to your face. You can't get around this world caring. You're not gonna make it by caring about people. What? You can't. This is not Disney Channel. You can't care about people. Maybe you can't. Maybe you have lost the inability to. Maybe you have. Maybe you forgot how to care. Me? Not me. Oh no, not me. I'm definitely not gonna listen to someone like you who's given up on themselves. Mm-mm. With empathy, it's like our hearts are the biggest navigators of this world. So therefore, we don't really need to listen to anybody else but ourselves. Because when we do turn that source around into ourselves and turn it into our own power, everything becomes clear. The path to which we need to take becomes clear. It's a clear destination. It's a focus. It's there's nothing to look for anymore. Instead, people look for you. People are looking for you. They're looking at you. Okay? And this is also your biggest form of protection. Okay? When you care about yourself, you irradiate such a high frequency that it becomes a shield. To where now, it's the ultimate form of protection. We know that everything's energy. I didn't talk about energy much in this video, but we know that everything's energy. And your heart radiates the most powerful energy there is. And you can choose to use it to shield everyone else, but at some point it'll become as weak as the world makes you. As everyone else begins to step on you, your power and frequency around everyone else that you're trying to save is going to diminish. And once it does, they're going to come right back to you. As you're on the ground too. They're going to come back to you as you're on the ground. No. That story is over. No. So what we're going to do now is start to envelop our own power and our own frequency as our own shields over ourselves and over our hearts. And therefore, we're going to show that we can, of course, make it around this world, caring. Because that's what this world was made in. Love. In love. The earth was made in love. Okay? Remember this. Remember this is your power. Remember that the next time someone tries to tell you what your heart is capable of, what your empathy is worth, and how you decide to use it. Okay? Okay. Until next time, thanks for listening.